Just 100 days to go until the Paris Olympics. Team USA is starting to take shape with 115 American athletes so far qualifying in their sports.
And we are very, very pleased to be joined live in our studio here today with one of just 3 athletes from Chicago that can officially make their plans for France. Team USA sailor Maggie Shay is here. Maggie, welcome and congratulations.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
It's so great to have you here. So you grew up sailing on Lake Michigan, and now you're going to be sailing in the Mediterranean in your second Olympics. Can you put into words how that makes you feel?
I'm very excited. It's an honor to represent the United States. My teammate and I are really grateful to have another crack at it after the Tokyo Olympics, and we're just looking forward to some really good racing.
Yeah.
Your sport is amazing. Watching some of the video, I can't even imagine how you do it. But your event is called the 49er FX. If you don't know about sailing, I don't know about sailing. What makes this so fun?
It's a really lightweight boat that's designed for speed. Both of us are trapezing, so we're sort of standing on the edge of the boat and hiking out over the water.
Look at that. I mean, the video is crazy.
It's really fun. It's my favorite boat.
How fast do you go again how fast can you get when you're out?
Like 20, 22 miles an hour.
Wow.
If the water's flat, it's a blast. And you have to be pretty comfortable getting wet. And
Yeah.
So most people, they think sailing, they don't think what they're looking at.
They don't think that.
Right,
and your abs have to be amazing, is what I'm thinking.
And so all the sailing events, even though we call it the Paris Olympics, the sailing events are going to be away from Paris, so in the south of France. How do you prepare for a race in the Mediterranean?
Well, they can have this weather system called the Mistral wind that's very windy and huge waves. So we've been practicing a bit of that. Last year at the test event, we had a couple days of Mistral, and it delivered 20 knots and huge waves, so that was really fun. But we're also expecting a variety of conditions, so we've been practicing a little bit of everything. The whole fleet was just in Palma de Mallorca in Spain, and those conditions were actually quite similar to what we expect in Spain, in Marseille this summer. So we've started writing our playbooks, and we're just excited for a little bit of everything.
Gosh, one of the cool things about what you do has to be some of the travel that you get to do, because the places that you mentioned are amazing. So when you're not competing, do you have any plans for your time in France?
I think I'll find a way to kill the time. No, we really love to, take in the tourist opportunities and just enjoy where we are. But I will say I think we're quite lucky to experience the coolest part of it, which is on the water.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to watching you this summer. Maggie Shay, thank you so much for coming in. Congratulations again. Look forward to seeing you this year in France.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Go Chicago, USA.
Yes.
Go USA.
Got a whole city cheering for you back here. Thanks again, Maggie. 100 days, that is how long before the world will hone in on Paris for the 2024 Olympics. Mike Tirico will be leading NBC primetime coverage once again. He's already on the ground in Paris today. I got to speak with him this morning, and I started by asking if it really feels like there will be an Olympics in the City of Light in just 3 months.
Yeah, happy 100 days back to you, Alex. It really does. Just a walk yesterday around the Eiffel Tower. They're already putting up the grandstand that will be the place for beach volleyball. Beach volleyball is going to happen right at the Eiffel Tower. It'll be an incredible scene and backdrop. Even at the Trocadero, you're starting to see stage being built where they're going to have some ceremony at the beginning and then every night with awarding medals. So around Paris, it looks and feels like we're 100 days away from the Olympics.
Let's dive right into the competitions then, because every Olympics has special storylines that we look for. Which ones are you most excited about this time?
Boy, it's hard, Alex, not to reach out and say Simone Biles coming back to the Olympics would be the biggest story, considering she's the best gymnast anybody's ever seen. She had the disappointment in 2021, but she threw herself back in the fire, and in 2023 was the all-around champion for women at the World Championships. Now she's got an opportunity to come back and maybe win the gold medals that she felt she was going to, or everybody thought she was going to win 3 years ago. If this is the last Olympic attempt for Simone, it would be her third if she makes the team. It would be a fitting way to go out, putting away the disappointments of 3 years ago and leaving the stage as the great champion that she is. Katie Ledecky and the U.S. team in the pool, of course. And then track and field. I think the U.S. may have a really strong team going into this year's games. That could be the story we come out of the games talking about the most.
And NBC is also bringing a lot of star power. Kelly Clarkson, Peyton Manning, Snoop Dogg. I mean, what do you think they're going to add to all the coverage this year? That'll be fun.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon is going to be on the closing ceremony as well. Snoop is going to be around Paris, adding his own Snoop style to what it's like to be at the Olympics. Opening ceremony, Peyton and Kelly, the same thing. The Olympics are a sporting event, but it's also a cultural event and a happening. And to have people like those four I just mentioned, extraordinarily accomplished in late night TV and music and entertainment and Pro Football Hall of Famer, who all have an incredible passion for the Olympics and all bring a unique set of observations because of the celebrity status that they've achieved. I think the viewers will enjoy having these familiar faces around and talking about the games. I can tell you that having spoken with all of them, been around them over the last few weeks, they're excited to see the Olympics in person up close, to meet the Olympians, to get to know their families. So I think just that connection alone will be a different way to tell the stories that we've loved telling for generations covering the Olympics at NBC.
You're right. They're also accomplished, but they've never done an Olympics before, and that is special. One more question here, Mike. We know that the Olympics is just a ton of work, but in those moments where we get to step away for a little bit, for a few moments, a night here, at lunch there, what are you going to enjoy about being in France and taking in the cultural aspect you just mentioned?
Paris, plain and simple. This is a great city. It's so much fun. If you've been here, you want to come back. If you've never been here, you dream and have aspirations of springtime in Paris. And we get to be here 17 nights on the air and 3 weeks total. It's just such a great city, and it has an energy. It has an energy at 1 in the morning. It has a different feel at 7 a.m. It'll have a different feel with all the international visitors. It's a city that the world has loved for many reasons, from substance to style, you know, baguettes to champagne, and we get to experience all of that. So maybe not the champagne part during the games, but the rest of it we'll certainly get to experience. And I'm just excited to be in Paris, and you know from the Olympic experience you've gone through recently, just to have a games without a pandemic where we can go out, celebrate, enjoy, and take in an amazing city. I think Paris gives us the perfect chance to do just that.
Yeah, I would totally agree. Mike, thank you so much. Best of luck in your preparation over the next 100 days, and looking forward to seeing you in France. And we have much more coverage ahead tonight, marking 100 days to the Olympics. In just a few minutes, a little after 5 o'clock, I'm going to share big stories and key takeaways from the games in Paris. Then at 6 tonight, we're going to look at the top Chicago hopefuls to watch in these. And, of course, you can get the latest Olympic updates anytime on the NBC Chicago app. Just like Mike said, Marion and Stefan, I think it's not only going to be a normal games, I think it's going to be even above that. I think Paris is going to go all out and make us realize why the Olympics are so special.
I think you're right. I look forward to watching it and watching you over there, my friend.
A lot more tonight, though.
All right. Thanks so much,
Merci
Alex.
beaucoup. 100 days to go until the start of the Summer Olympic Games, and our Alex Maragos is brushing up on his French, getting ready before he heads to Paris.
You know, each Olympics has its own stories and athletes to watch. Alex joins us now for a look at what to see this year.
Cannot wait, guys, and the French is not going well, but that's a whole other story. I still got 100 days left to figure that out. This is the first Olympics, though, in 8 years that we're really not dealing with a massive time difference or COVID. So let's just hope it's going to be wonderful and normal. France is certainly fully celebrating this Olympic return. It's actually the 3rd time that Paris is playing host, but it's the first time in 100 years. So the city's really ready to show off. Beach volleyball is going to be played underneath the Eiffel Tower. Equestrian and pentathlon will be held at the Palace of Versailles. The country will also have zones all over the place set up to celebrate athletes and for people to come together and enjoy the games together as one. Now, here are some of the big names to know if you're just getting caught up on the Olympics. Katie Ledecky is America's most decorated swimmer in these games. She already has 10 Olympic medals, including 3 consecutive golds in the 800 free. She just dominates that event. She has the 16 fastest Olympic times in that race. You heard that right. 16 in a row, all her. On the track, Sha'Carri Richardson will be one of the American sprinters to watch. You got to pay attention because she's really fast. She's the defending world champion in the 100 meters. She says she knew she ran well in that world championship race, but she didn't know right away if she won.
Because honestly, when I crossed finish, I didn't even know I won. It was just more so I knew I executed a race that literally I felt my entire best, to the point just like if somebody beat me, I knew they had to run their lifetime best also as well.
Love her personality.
Run their behind off. And these games could be remembered, though, for the comeback for Simone Biles. You like to remember how she withdrew from Tokyo to take care of her mental health. So she's looking to be back in top form again. She already is, really, to contend for an all-around title once again and help Team USA win lots of medals in gymnastics. Now, those are the really big names to watch nationally. We're going to have a look at the big names with Chicago ties to keep track of in Paris. That's coming up in a little bit at 6 o'clock tonight.
So many ties to Chicago.
Yeah, we have about 25 hopefuls really still on the line. 3 confirmed from Chicago so far. So all the big names really have yet to fully make it. We have to technically call Simone Biles a hopeful.
Sure.
Yeah, right.
Because she hasn't technically qualified yet, but we certainly expect her and many others to be there.
Oh, it's going to be great. And we're going to be expecting at least one phrase a day from you in French.
Right.
Thank you, Alex.
Today marks 100 days until Paris hosts its third Olympic Games. Several local names to cheer for as the Chicago area has several Olympic hopefuls.
Yeah, Alex Maragos has been talking to them all year long, keeping track of their progress, and he has a look at some of the local names to know this year. Alex.
There will be about 500 names on Team USA heading over to Paris. Now, here are just a few to remember when you watch the competition this year. First, we go to Ryan Murphy. He was born in Palos Heights, still has lots of family in the area, and he is our most decorated Olympian with 6 medals already from the last 2 games. Just last month, he told me he wants to be the first person to win the 100 and 200 gold in the backstroke in 3 straight Olympics. Really impressive. Can't wait to see if he does it. Next up, might know this guy. Just yesterday, Anthony Davis was named to his 2nd Olympic team. Davis, as you can see, now plays for the Lakers, but he grew up on the south side of Chicago and went to Perspectives Charter School. And the Olympics are always exciting for athletes, but this one will have extra anticipation for him. Davis hasn't played in an Olympics for 12 years, not because he isn't good enough, but because he's been injured. All right, and if the U.S. women's national team wants to win gold this year, they're going to lean on 2 Chicago Red Stars players. Alyssa Nair is back in goal again, and the team is hoping to shake off a disappointing finish in the World Cup just last year. Nair's first appearance was 10 years ago in the Olympics. Now she's one of the team leaders. Same goes for Mallory Swanson right here. A lot of eyes are going to be on her Red Stars teammate. She's coming back from a knee injury that she suffered in the World Cup last year, a devastating knee injury. But she just returned to action in the She Believes Cup. That was a few weeks ago. And she was left off the roster in the Tokyo Games for the Olympics 4 years ago, so she's going to want to make her mark in her first Olympic team since 2016. Now, the Chicago area in all could end up sending about 20 athletes to Paris. We just don't know the final number and won't know for a few more months. But in the meantime, we're going to keep an eye on these names and our other hopefuls all ahead of the Games.